Well, beauty is subjective, but yeah, not gonna be nice.
Jack seems to have gotten over it so soon, so quickly. All right, we need to get out of here.
Let's see if they left us any
weapons.
weapons.
Weapons! Sweet, sweet weapons!
We know Petra's happy. Can I pick? Can there be a legendary diamond hoe, please? Please.
I could take the enchanted iron sword or the diamond sword with no enchantment. The diamond sword will last longer, but the iron sword is enchanted with sharpness. Not bad,
I feel like I want to take. I mean, the enchanted sword. I feel like I kind of want the diamond sword. I mean, the enchanted sword is cool and all, but I don't know. I feel like I want to take the diamond sword just so it lasts longer. Enchanted sword, diamond sword. Yeah, I'm gonna take the diamond sword. I like the color better. It's a nicer color. Reliability over damage. I'm gonna go with reliability. I'm more of a, yeah, diamonds are cool. Could just put an enchantment over that later. Right, I feel like I could enchant it later. Yeah, reliability. I'm more of a reliability person.
Okay, definitely feeling better with a sword in my hand again.
Agreed.
What weapon does Radar have? Oh, he has a shield! Oh, my little boy is Captain America!
What? It's versatile.
I love it! I approve. I'm so proud of you.
I don't know much about llama fashion, but that's a good look, Luna.
Looking good, gang. Now let's...
G-E-O-F-F. That spells my best friend. Love you, Jeffy.
Hey, it's Mr. Hot Dog. And his
Friends
mushroom friend.
reunited! It's a prison miracle!
I guess Jesse does seem like good people.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah, don't squeeze me too
They're
hard.
holding us up. Move along.
I'm not a bottle
Now.
of ketchup.
Prison Rex. Oh, jeez. I don't want no trouble. I'm out of here. Come along, Jeffy.
That was frighteningly effective.
Well, now that that's over with, can we get moving now, please?
Prison Hark approves. Diamonds are way more fabulous than iron.
The opening should be just around this corner.
We have a situation here.
Back! Back! All of you!
He's in an orange
One more
jumpsuit,
step
too.
and it's Kaboomsville!
Oh,
Jesse!
the guy snapped.
Warden, what's going on here?
Hey, you're one of us! Help us beat up the warden! It'll be a good team-building exercise! Plus, we beat up the warden! Win-win!
Oh, it's the happy little jerk who didn't like my happy little painting. I'll bet. You're not so happy now.
I
are
didn't
you?
say I wasn't happy with your painting. I just pointed
Jesse,
out that it
you
was an
freed
empty canvas.
Prisoner X? Just when I thought you couldn't ruin my life anymore! What in the world were you thinking?
Holy crud! It's Prisoner X!
Well, that was definitely effective.
I think you've clearly lost your mind. She is bad news. Actually, no, she is
I needed
way
her help
worse than
because you
bad
weren't
news.
going to help me.
Need her help, Warden. It's the only way to stop the admin.
Did you know she was once an admin too? The admin had to take her powers away. She tried to destroy him. I promised
Plot
the admin
thickens.
I'd never let her free, no matter what. And I'll keep that promise.
That's interesting.
Even if I need to blow us all up to do it.
Did she do that? Oh my. Oh my. She did that. Wow.
Undertaker.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you all staring at me?
Because you're evil.
It's making me uncomfortable.
Give me that bow.
Hand over that bow. It's too dangerous to let you keep it.
Not happening, Jesse. I need this weapon to get through that maze of monsters.
We want answers, Zara.
Fine. mine! Yes, I was an admin. Ages ago, Romeo took my admin powers away from me just before he banished me to this pitiful prison. But I'm not the villain here. Romeo and his little warden were the ones who put you down here, not me! So glare in another direction! I'm innocent!
You're just like Romeo.
Oh, please, you're exactly like him. Exactly like the admin.
You know nothing, Jesse. I'm nothing like him. Nothing!
You're worse? It sounds
What
like you'd be
Jesse
worse.
said. You have no decency. No honor.
Wait, so an admin can be stripped of their powers?
Oh no,
It's
is
not
Jesse gonna be
simple,
the
but
next
yes.
admin?
So what do we...
We don't have time for this. It won't be long before Romeo finds out what's happened down
I
here.
feel like Jesse's gonna
Yeah,
be
I
the next
guess
admin
we should keep moving.
before the end of this story.
Follow me.
Zara commits murder. Also, Zara, your stairs make me uncomfortable. Wow, she's crazy. Jeez, things are getting
I'm
a lot
sorry,
harder.
Jesse. But do you really trust her?
Heck no.
She's not right in the head.
Heck no,
Jack,
I don't trust her.
You haven't seen what the admin can do. We need all the help we can get.
But her? Really?
Do you have any other ex-admins in your inventory?
Yeah, I don't trust her either. I want you keeping an eye on her at all times.
You've got it.
She's like Bellatrix Lestrange mixed with Kent
Romeo
Jack.
did always love creating new nightmares at every opportunity.
Run!
Way ahead of you.
Oh, it's some jumpsuit zombies.
Seriously, what's with these monsters? They're all glowing!
Oh boy.
They're pretty scary looking, Jesse.
Yeah.
Scarier.
Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, did Petra get the enchanted sword instead? Nice. Good job. We make a good team, Petra.
How many of these things are there?
Never just one! Never!
Beautiful.
Nice work.
Thanks, Jack!
We're still, see, Jack and I, we're still cool. We're still cool.
Skillful. Impressive.
Less talking, more stabbing.
We got a little bit of Legolas jump in there too. Ow.
Zara? Thanks, I guess? Oh, come on, not the llama!
We just saved the llama. Nice. Good job, Luna. Wow. That's awesome. Llama spit. Thank you, Luna. That's pretty awesome. Wow. Yeah, Radar. Yeah, you're doing great, Radar. That's my boy.
Radar, give me a boost!
Yeah, Wonder Woman style.
Wow! That was amazing!
Yeah. Back off.
Get out of here!
Nice shortcut. Come on.
I tell you what, she is as crazy as a hopped up ocelot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Nothing like blowing through a wall and screaming, "Oh yeah!"
It wasn't like this before. There's got to be a way.
Zara? You alright there?
Just shut up and let me think.
See? I told you we shouldn't have trusted her. She's lost.
I said just let me think!
Think or make something up.
We can get out of this.
It's fine. Even if there's a setback, we can still get out of this.
Not exactly a vote of confidence, but I'll take it. Wait! We can just build to the top of the wall.
And get to the other side that way. Yeah!
Sounds good to me.
There we go. Back to the top of the labyrinth. What is that? It looks like a piece of corn. It looks like an ear of corn.
What do you know? There it is.
Hey, wait, where are you going?
She ditched us!
Uh-oh. It's the tissue box ghastly Ooh, wow. There's a joint. Wow, okay.
Guys, don't come up here.
What? Why?
It's just the form, the tissue box.
Oh, okay. Got it.
A three-headed ghast! Why would the admin create that?
To mess with us, of course. This is just like Zelda. Back off. Had enough? Serially? Serially? Gotta run. Whoa, he's hitting his own. Now they're getting mad at it.
Starting to attack the big one!
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Try to avoid it. It's not working. I only have one heart left. Whoa. Whoa. Stay on the far edge, far right edge of the screen. Well, that was convenient.
I think that's its weak point.
Come on, Jesse. You can do it. Yeah, just like Link. Yes! That was very fast. Jesse's kicking some butt, taking names. That is a hero. That is an adventuring.
That was insane!
hero. Yeah.
Jesse, you're amazing.
That was like the end boss, right?
That was unbelievable. And you stuck the landing. Nice.
Oh, that's just my perfect reflexes and photographic muscle memory. Well, there it is, guys. Our ticket out of here.
Big giant corn
That is
husk.
sparkly.
The sparkliest.
Is that... Diamond? Where is everyone?
You ran off away
Lunatic is
from
gonna
us.
be inventory if she's not careful.
So?
We should lend her a hand, shouldn't we?
But she sounds like she's in trouble.
We need to worry about ourselves, Petra. I'm not letting another admin get its
We need to
claws
help
on
her
anybody.
out. Right now,
the tower is
Radar
right
is
there.
our Clementine. Radar is our Conscious, it looks like.
We're not abandoning her.
Yes.
I told her I'd help her escape. It's time to prove it. We can't just leave her. Come on.
Oh, I can't believe we're doing this.
Hope somebody doesn't die because of this choice. That'd be rough.
Zara, come on!
You came back.
Yeah?
Said I'd get you out, didn't I? Now show us the way.
I know you didn't have to do that.
Nope.
I appreciate it.
Alright, well maybe you can be
go.
nicer to us a little bit more then.
I'm not
Wow.
a very trusting person. Romeo betrayed me. I have trouble getting along with others. I'm not much of a people person anymore. If I ever really was, it's gone now.
You're welcome, Zara. I would do it again. It was the right thing to do.
There's something else you should know. There was a third admin named Fred.
Fred?
Where is he?
Was he in Bedrock
Dead.
earlier?
He and I fought Romeo for control of the world. We lost.
Control of the world.
Where's the rest of it?
Yeah, how are we supposed to escape? This doesn't even go up that far.
That's because we're not going up. We're going down.
Down? There is no down. We're standing on bedrock. You can't go any lower.
You might think so, but that's where we need to go. Below the bedrock.
Everybody knows there's nothing under the bedrock except nothing! And also certain
Why
death.
would she lie to us
We're
now?
not at the bottom of the world. It only appears that way.
I really do want to believe you.
Then believe me.
I'd rather take my chances in the maze than listen to any more of her lies. Any of you are welcome to join
no,
me.
we're losing Jack.
Crazy talk. All those
I
monsters.
don't care. She's an admin. An admin killed Voss, then stole his identity, and then...
Remember I told you he took my admin powers away? Well, down there lies the secret to taking Romeo's powers from him. Forever. Fred, the third admin, discovered it.
Jack, don't leave us, please.
Jesse, help
I
me
like
dig through
you.
this tower.
Come on, man. We have to go back. We need you to help us save
See?
Nurm.
I told you! These stairs lead to our salvation!
Now there's a good reason to get a move on.
Come on, Jack. Thank you. What the heck? Oh, is that the end of the episode? Oh, man. Jailhouse Block. That was a fun episode. I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. Three-headed gas. Guess he's heard of Cerberus, the three-headed guard dog. If only Lucas was there to see Bad A Jesse. If we die for them, Harry, I'm gonna kill you. Well, he and Lucas can have a private, intimate interview for his book. Another path choice split? Oh wow, Telltale is adding something new. In the original game, there is nothing below bedrock. Oh, interesting. Cliffhanger time? Wow, what an end. That's a big Enderman. Radar was being tortured as leverage. Did you agree to work for the Warden? You and 62.7% of players agreed to work for the Warden. That doesn't surprise me too much. Jeff the Mushroom was not allowed to stay. Did you shear him? You and 53.7% of players refused the Warden's order. That makes a lot of sense. It's closer to 50-50, but I figured that, you know, not hurting an animal, or at least, you know, the thought of possibly hurting an animal, even though he would just turn into a regular cow. Most people tend to favor saving animals over people, which is why I'm predicting that more people chose to save Luna just because Luna's an animal. But we'll see. You had to convince Stella to help you. How did she respond to your request? You and 21.6% of players caused Stella to join the admin's cause. Really? Only 21.6%? That's pretty... Wow, that's pretty amazing. I wonder, was it really that hard, I guess, to get her to join us? That's really interesting. Oh, wow. I was wrong. They chose Nurm. Zara left you in her booby-trapped cell. Who did you leave behind? You and 38.8% of players left Nurm behind. Interesting! I'm actually surprised by that. I guess people really liked Nurm a lot more than they liked Luna. I guess some people might have thought Luna was really annoying, so, or not as useful. Zara ran ahead during the escape. Did you stick together? You and 84.3% of players stayed back to help Zara. I expected this one to be the majority, but I didn't expect it by that much. Interesting. Cool. Alright. Those are my choices. Oh. Oh no. Oh no! The imposter.
I can't let anyone run around disguised as me or my friends. The amount of chaos they could cause is, well, it's unthinkable.
Oh no.
That's why I summoned you.
Oh no!
Track them down. Make sure they're behaving themselves.
Oh, snap. A ninja. It's Kai Lang.
Man, oh jeez.
Kai Lang.
Run, 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 Jesse. As fast as you can.
Wow. Alright. We've got ourselves Kai Lang and Subject Zero in one episode. Play along with thousands of other players. Play some of your favorite Telltale games with hundreds of thousands of people using crowd play and near real time on Mixer. So for you guys, this is the end of the Let's Play. So if you guys have any questions to ask me for my Q&A, please let me know. Because this is the time. And I'll stick around for as long as it takes for everybody to ask whatever questions that they want. And it can be about this game. It can be about something completely off topic. Your choice. Good and fun episode. I loved it, but I missed Lucas. I missed Lucas as well. But it was cool to be able to see more of Nurm and Luna and Radar and Jack and Petra, like having some fun with some of the other characters. I did appreciate that for this episode. Hopefully we'll see more of Lucas in the next episode, in episode 4. I doubt it'll happen, but it'd be cool if you could play as Lucas next episode and deal with admin Jesse. See, that would be so much fun. I would love to play as Lucas too. He's so cool. Either that or they wanted to screw over Stella. So any plans for food vids? Maybe something for October or Thanksgiving? I know that you ask me about this every single time, Conpedo Kiss, and I appreciate it, but I just don't have time, unfortunately. There's just so much stuff going on, and I don't like saying yes to something that I honestly don't think I'll be able to get to anytime soon. So plans, no, that's the honesty, and it's mostly because I have so many other things that I need to take care of instead, that unfortunately the food videos are a lower priority for me, but I appreciate you being interested in them. I just don't realistically think I could get around to them anytime soon. Where are all those slashes? I don't know where all those slashes came from. Minecraft effect. Also, you should check out Rakuen, maybe. Rakuen. Which villain do you think is more evil, the Witherstorm or the admin? I feel like the admin is a more interesting villain, way more interesting villain. I feel like the Witherstorm ultimately is more evil because the Witherstorm wants to destroy everything in existence, whereas the admin wants to control everything in existence, I guess. And I guess if you had to choose the lesser of the two evils, controlling things, you could argue, is slightly less worse than just obliterating everything, like, completely. So I still think that the Witherstorm is a more evil villain, but the admin is definitely a lot more interesting and a lot more layered compared to the Witherstorm. Did you prefer Luna over Nurm? I prefer Nurm over Luna. I mean, personally, I like Nurm more than I like Luna. Luna's cool, and she's an awesome llama. But if you were to put a gun to my head and ask me which one do I like more, it definitely is Nurm without too much hesitation. But I mean, that doesn't mean I dislike Luna. I just like Nurm a lot more. More because Nurm has never really wronged me, whereas Luna has definitely wronged me a few times, and that's why I'm more partial to Nurm. I mean, Luna bit me, in the last episode. And I mean, there's a reason why she bit me, but she still bit me, and I was like, seriously? I'm sure you're angry and upset, but that doesn't mean you have to be all violent against me, so... I didn't want to leave Luna behind, but because Nurm actually volunteered, I had to end up choosing Nurm. Also, a vlog from your workplace would still be cool if your boss's managers... I would love to do. I would love to be able to do that. I actually did film a video from my office, which I'm going to be releasing... not on my YouTube channel, but on something else, and I'll make a video about that. If you're kind of curious what I'm talking about, it'll hopefully make more sense later this week or next week if I release the video about it. I'm kind of happy you chose Luna over Nurm because no one else chose her in their playthrough. Really? That shocks me. I guess people really disliked Luna that much, or people really loved Nurm that much. I'm really surprised by that. Seeing all this rapid building reminds me of a Lego Island. Anyone plays that game? Anyone else play that game? I don't know that one. How is your husband doing? Hey, Evan. I said earlier that Colin right now is at a going away party for a good friend of his. So he's doing fine. He's still teaching. School started for him a few weeks ago, and it's been very tiring and exhausting for him. He has to work with a lot of kids with emotional disorders. And he worked with a lot of kids with emotional disorders last year, but they weren't back to back, one class after another. Here, I think he has 3 or 4 classes straight with kids with emotional disorders, and that can be very tiring and very difficult and very challenging to work with every single day, constantly. So I know that he's definitely way more exhausted this year than he is last year. I'm glad that there are teachers like him that are able to work with those types of kids, those types of students, but, having to work with them that much in one day, I'm sure is very, like I said, very trying, very challenging for a teacher. Let's hope the admin doesn't turn Lucas against you or hurts Lucas. Then I would be so mad. I would be really mad too. Stay away from his... I hope the admin better stay away from Lucas's pants. That's all I gotta say. Better stay away, admin. Rakuen has a lot of pretty Laura Shigihara singing, a girl who sang To the Moon. Oh, I love that one. I know Bird Story is out, but I don't know if Finding Paradise is coming out. It was supposed to be this year, but I think it might be pushed back to the next. I do want to play those games. Hey, what is your opinion on the Batman Telltale's Joker? I like him. I like the Batman Telltale's Joker. I think he does a good take on that character. I like him just fine. I don't know if he's super memorable as Joker, but he plays the role really well. I wouldn't think Lucas is that gullible, but I think most of Jesse's closer friends would know if he's acting weird. Yeah. When you play a video game, do you think character development is better or having a better story? That's a really interesting question. That's a really good question, Evan. Ultimately, I care more about people than I do about the story, if that makes sense. Let me give an example. So, when you watch TV shows, I think a lot of writers like to add a lot of drama into their shows, and I think that sometimes that annoys me at times when they put in drama just for the sake of drama, especially if it goes out of character for people. let me give us another specific example. So there was a character in Glee. There's a TV show, Glee. Whatever your opinion of the show is, I really enjoyed it, especially the first season. The first season I thought was solid, and I still enjoyed the seasons afterwards, but I felt like this first season was the best season. But anyway, there were these two characters in that show that dated each other. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I thought they were one of the cutest couples of any TV show. I love those two people to death as a couple. And it's just so great just watching their relationship. And then one episode, one of the characters just randomly cheated on the other character, and it just seemed really like from left field. It seemed so out of character. I was like, that character would not do that. I mean, the character might be tempted of doing it because of the stuff that they were dealing with their partner, but it just seemed so off, and I don't believe that would have actually happened. It just seemed like the writers needed to put in some drama in there just to make their relationship more interesting. And I don't know, some relationships, I'm not saying that doesn't happen in real life. Of course, a lot of people's relationships get into things like, some really, they have their issues, they have their problems, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want to watch it on a TV show, especially with a couple that I really love seeing together. So when seeing something that I felt was so out of character, it really bothered me a lot, and it really turned off me from the series. I actually stopped watching the show for a while because it was so like, again, out of left field for me and seemed so out of character. And I guess that is something that showcases that I prefer characters over story. I guess it was more exciting or more interesting to throw in that random drama in there, even though it didn't make any sense to me. But I just thought that it just wasn't a good choice. It just wasn't an intelligent move in the grand scheme of things, because it turned me off from continuing watching the show. I would much rather... I guess I don't like seeing people with relationship issues, especially if they seem so great together. Especially if it's drawn out and gets really tiresome. I guess some people love watching that kind of stuff. They love watching other people having relationship issues, and I don't. I really don't. If it's a couple I really care about, I don't want to see that. I want to see them being cute together. And some people might think, well, that's not interesting enough. Like, people aren't gonna, care about these characters if they already have their act together. And I'm like, well, for me, that's not the case. I would love to see more. I'm the exact opposite when it comes to those kind of things. So I will answer that by saying, I know that that's not necessarily character development, but for me, I'm more of a people person at the end of the day, and I would lean more heavily towards character development than having a better story, I think. Sadly, I have to get up early tomorrow. Take care, Hark, and chat. Till next time. All right, Asher, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hey, Hark, what is your favorite book series? Not counting the classics like Harry Potter. Oh, yeah, that was my favorite book series. I'm trying to think what other... So, when I was a kid, some of my favorite books as a kid was Encyclopedia Brown. I was very big into, like, mysteries, and I was huge into Encyclopedia Brown. I was huge into the Boxcar Children, which is another cool, like, children's, like, mystery story series that I read as a kid. Another kid series was Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia I thought was such a funny, funny child series, and that is one of the things that I remember. Obviously, the Choose Your Own Adventure books from back in the day was just, there wasn't anything like it. It was so creative, It felt like a Telltale game. Choose Your Own Adventure books felt like a Telltale game. So that was something that I really loved. I was also a sucker for teen horror books. So before there was Goosebumps, because I know that was a big thing, Goosebumps sort of came out at a time when I was, I think, too old for the books. It was a little bit past my age level that the books were designed for. But R.L. Stine, who wrote the Goosebump books, he had another series that were meant for older kids called Fear Street. Fear Street was a horror book. I know, it sounds really interesting because I don't really like horror things now. I don't really watch like horror video games or horror movies, but I guess it's easier for me to read a horror book than it is to play a horror video game or watch a horror movie, especially since, you know, these horror books were made for younger audiences. But Fear Street was a really interesting series that I really enjoyed. And then, you know, when the Goosebump books started coming out, and because it was written by R.L. Stine, who also wrote Fear Street, I ended up reading a bunch of the Goosebump books and enjoyed them for what it was. Again, I could tell when I was reading them that they were a bit meant for a younger audience, but I still had fun reading about them. Now that I'm older, I haven't had as much time to read a lot of books as much as I would like to. I definitely was a huge bookworm when I was a lot younger, and nowadays I just don't have as much time to read. So the only other book series recently that I have read was the Hunger Games books. A lot of people really want me to start reading The Wheel of Time, and I think that the Wheel of Time series might be something that I would be really into. I tried really hard, as I've said before, to get into the Game of Thrones, and I tried reading them and I just couldn't get through the books. It was just way too dry for me, the books were. I couldn't get into them. And the same thing, unfortunately, for the TV show. I tried really hard to get into the TV show and I just found myself just not caring about any of the characters. And I tried watching like 3 or 4 episodes of the Game of Thrones, and it just never clicked for me. I think the only characters that I really enjoyed like watching was obviously Tyrion and Bran. Those are the only characters. Oh, and of course the Dragon Lady. And I don't even remember her name. But even then, they were not enough for me to really get into the series, so I stopped watching after like the 4th or 5th episode because it got to the point where I kept looking at the clock while I was watching these shows, and when you're looking at the clock, that's a big red flag. That means maybe the series is just not for you, which is why I loved the video game, because for whatever reason, the video game clicked way more for me, and I actually cared more about the characters in the video game than I ever did in the TV show or in the book. For some reason. I can't explain it. I don't know why. It's just it is what it is. I don't know. So hopefully that answered your question, Spellbound Prince, Your Highness. It's hard to think of examples of a good story that doesn't have good character development. I'd assume they go hand in hand. I think so too. But I think she bit you. I think she was a treasure sniffing. I don't think she bit you. I think she was a treasure sniffing. She was always trying to take the gauntlet. She will bite you whether you free Stella or not. Interesting. What is your favorite movie series that was based on books? I think I know the answer to this. I mean, Harry Potter, of course, is probably the most obvious for me. But besides Harry Potter, movie series that was based on books. I mean, The Hunger Games again, most recent. I'm trying to remember if there was any other movie series that was based on a book. I haven't read Ready Player One. I want to, though. That's the next book I want to try reading, because it seemed like a lot of fun. And I had one of my coworkers inform me of Ready Player One before I found out that they were making a movie for it. So my goal is to try to read the book before the movie comes out next year. So that's something. There aren't any other... Oh, I mean the Narnia series. Although really with the Narnia series, I only cared about the story when it was surrounding the Pevensey kids. You know, Peter and Edmund and Lucy. I when the book started revolving around the 4 Pevensey kids, I lost interest in the series because Eustace is okay. I kind of couldn't stand him when we first. I mean, he grows on you later, but I mean, nothing could top Peter and the rest of the gang. So, I wouldn't say that I love the series. I would say I love the first like 2 books, 2 or 3 books, 2.5 books. And Peter was always my favorite character, although in the movie series Edmund kicks serious butt. I loved Edmund in the second movie. He was amazing. So I mean, I guess I could say the Narnia series, the Chronicles of Narnia, but it's more so the earlier books of that, or earlier movies. Do you have a single favorite movie on that note? I mean, if you were asking me what is my favorite movie is, the first Back to the Future pops into my head. Any of the Toy Story series pops into my head. I mean, we just finished, after playing this game, Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption pops into my head as another favorite movie. So really any of those are the ones I would pick as like my top movies personally of all time. If you had to make me pick one, I would say Back to the Future. The first Back to the Future is probably my favorite, and the second favorite being, again, the Toy Story series, if I can answer it with a series. I couldn't choose between any of the 3 Toy Stories. They were so well done. That would be like picking between my children. I couldn't pick one as my favorite necessarily. What is your favorite comedy character from Telltale Games? Oh, Vaughn. Hands down, Vaughn. Vaughn from Tales of the Borderlands. Absolutely. Vaughn, as I said, is my favorite character of any Telltale game. Even Luke and Lucas. Vaughn actually does beat Luke and Lucas for me, and I've actually explained why that's the case. So that was an easy question for me to answer. Thank you, I Fall Into Fantasy. What is your favorite side and main characters in a Telltale series? Oh boy. Favorite main character? Well, side character. If you didn't want me to say side character as for Vaughn, I mean, obviously Luke or Lucas. Luke from The Walking Dead, Lucas from Minecraft Story Mode would probably be my favorite side character. But for main character, I really enjoy Reese. Reese is a fun main character, and I mean, he's voiced by Troy Baker, so what's not to love about that? I mean, honestly, I would pick Reese. People might think it would be Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy, just because he's voiced by Scott Porter, but no, I mean, Peter Quill is awesome, but I felt like there was more. Troy Baker was able to do way more in Reese's character than Peter Quill. I guess because Peter's more established, they can't do as much with his character, but Reese is great, and I love how he plays off of Fiona and Sasha and Vaughn. He's super fun. So I'm gonna say that Reese is probably my favorite main Telltale character that I can think of off the top of my head. Good question, I Fall Into Fantasy. Drama, okay, fair enough. I'm not sure if Luna bit him. I think she might have headbutted him, but I don't know. I think he didn't leave Stella behind in that one episode. Glee is Nirvana. Okay, fair enough. Hark, what is your opinion of Smallville, the TV series? I really enjoyed Smallville. I think I religiously followed Smallville for like the first 3 seasons, and then I kind of got distracted and didn't have time to finish the series. I wanted to watch all of the rest of the episodes, but I feel like it got a little bit by the wayside. That's one of my bucket lists, is to return back to the series and watch the rest of it, because I do enjoy the concept of following a younger Clark Kent when he was in Smallville. And just seeing some of the differences that they made in that series than from, the classic comic book Superman, especially with like knowing Clark knowing Lex Luthor at a younger age and actually being like really good friends with Lex, like having an interesting friendship with him. And then of course all the stuff going on with Lana Lang, and then Chloe was just a really awesome. I love Chloe's character. So I really enjoyed the series a lot. I thought they did a great job with it. I personally felt that Tom Welling, I like Tom Welling as Clark Kent, but as Tom Welling as the actor, I felt could have been a better sport with Clark Kent, because I know that there were issues with Tom Welling, like refusing to wear the Superman suit, like he really didn't want. I felt like, from what I read at least, people needed to twist his arm to actually put on the Superman suit near the end, and even then it was just like a glimpse of him in the Superman suit. I don't know. It seemed like Tom Welling had a bit of an issue, and I don't know. I personally felt like if you're doing Smallville and there are a lot of fans who watch Smallville because they like Superman, I felt like, you know, he should have did a little bit more for the fans, in my opinion. But again, this is just based on what I've read. I don't know what actually went down during the production of Smallville, especially during the last season. But those are my thoughts on the TV series. My brother absolutely loves Smallville, and for a while during the run of Smallville, my go-to birthday present for my brother, to the point that he expected it every single year, and then I didn't know what to get him after that. My go-to birthday present for my brother was the DVD set of the most recent Smallville season. So we own all of the DVDs for Smallville, so I could theoretically watch it all. I just, you know, need to get around to it. Never seen Glee, but when people put drama conflict for conflict's sake, then again, stuff like soap operas are decades long running, so I guess that's what a lot of people are into. Yeah, I don't, soap operas, I feel like people put way too much drama in soap operas, like, needlessly, which annoys me a lot. That's another thing. Like, there are a lot of soap opera couples that I really liked in some of the other soap operas I've seen, and then they just spoil them by putting in conflict, like, for drama's sake, and it just annoys me. I'm like, I don't want to see these characters having these kind of issues. Like, I get the reason why, you know, some people might, you know, I get that part of the reason is because, you know, they want you to be able to relate with these characters and, you know, have them going through relationship issues that you might have gone through in the past. But I watch TV to escape from real life. You know, I kind of want to escape to a fantasy, and I kind of want, part of that fantasy is believing that these two people who I believe belong together and deserve to be together forever should stay forever. You know, so that's what really annoys me a lot, is when TV shows can't give that to me. Like, just let me have this, you know, with this couple. Just let me see these couple actually happy indefinitely. You know, sure, they might get into arguments, sure, they might get into fights, but I don't want to see one cheating on the other. Like if I really respect them as characters individually and as a couple, if it doesn't make sense for one to be cheating on them, that just really bothers me. So anyway, stuff like that. Anyway, I didn't want to get back into that question again, but just a little bit of a rant. I need to go now, AA. Thanks for a fun live stream. I'll certainly be back next time. Well, thank you for joining us, Twinkle Blue Star. I hope that you enjoyed your first time. What is your favorite Johnny Depp movie, and what is your favorite Chris Evans movie? I know he's one of your favorites. Okay, so Johnny Depp is not one of my favorites, but I do enjoy him. My favorite Johnny Depp movie is definitely Pirates of the Caribbean. I appreciate Johnny Depp's work. It's just, the characters that he tends to play tends to be a little bit too much for me. I felt that Jack Sparrow is just enough, but him as Willy Wonka, I wasn't digging it. Him as the Mad Hatter, which is great for him, because the Mad Hatter is supposed to be, well, mad and random and crazy and insane and silly. But, you know, that didn't mean that he played the role very well, but that didn't mean I liked the character. You know, so yeah, I'm not a huge Johnny Depp fan, but I definitely love him in the Pirates of the Caribbean as Jack Sparrow. Favorite Chris Evans movie? Ugh.